Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is my new to me 1971 Suzuki TS185. I needed a trail bike that I can take for camping, use for river float trips, self-shuttling, something that had enough power to get up to 55 safely, but also not something that I want to take on like Highway 101, say. And this was the solution. But the catch is, instead of just this one bike, it was a 2-for-1 deal. So this is a 1972 Suzuki TS185. And the guy that I bought it from was gonna use this one as a parts bike for that bike. But that one's pretty much near complete. Obviously just needs cleaned up and carbs cleaned, a few other small things. This one needs some serious work. But my plan is we're gonna get this one to essentially just a decent state. We're gonna put a new seat on it. Gonna clean the carb, reinstall it. Right now, carb's out. And then we're gonna sell this bike to hopefully cover the costs of the bike that I am keeping. So I'm gonna be documenting what I'm doing with these as I'm working on them. Shouldn't be anything too crazy, hopefully. Both motors have good compression, they're spinning freely. Essentially just need to clean the carbs, change fluids, and go through basic wiring, new batteries, make sure that everything's safe and running. I'm planning on getting this one plated. Right now it's got 2018 Washington plates. But yeah, it should be super fun to document this and then get this Suzuki back into riding shape. I love these TS185s, and the nice thing is the parts are pretty cheap on Amazon. Put in my first parts order just this morning. I ordered 2 new seat covers. I found an old seat for this bike. The seat pan was completely rusted out, so I had to get a new one for that. Brakes and everything are working on both bikes, but could use some adjusting, obviously, and potentially new brake cables. Gotta check them out. And other than that, new carb for this bike. Even though I have one, I'm gonna try and clean it, but it's like 25 bucks for a new one, so might as well just pop a new carb in there. You can see, it's pretty dirty, but not too bad in the realm of rust. I mean, frame still looks really good. Wheels are really not bad at all. Obviously, new tires for both bikes is on the agenda. And the guy I bought it from said he knows where an extra set of chrome fenders are, and he's gonna try and get those out to me just as a kindness of his heart kind of deal. So that's pretty sweet. It's a really, really cool looking bike. Hoping that I can get it back on the road here in the next month or so. And then I just gotta get my motorcycle endorsement to make sure that I can ride this thing around without getting in too much trouble. Got keys for both and a title for this bike. So this is the first vehicle that I bought with cash and got a title, which is kind of cool. So yeah, hopefully you guys are interested in these 2 project bikes and are excited to see the process of working on them. All right, seat's pulled off, but here's before. See what we're looking like after. There's just lots of crud everywhere. Super gunked up. Here's this side too. Give it a spray down with a degreaser and then start rinsing other parts while that soaks up. All right, here's the after. Chrome came out real nice actually, just needs a little polishing. Not too bad overall. I mean, a lot of the grease came off. You can see it's almost broken down fully. A little scrub during the next wash. I didn't do a full wash because you have to do a bunch of oil changes, so not worth the time, but it's cleaned up nice. Pretty sweet. All right, so just pop the tank off. Honestly, it's in really good shape, so that's awesome. No like rusting through. Definitely rust, but none so that goes through the tank, which is the important part to start. Definitely need to clean these corners up and treat them so we don't get any more rust, but overall better than expected. We're disconnected right now. That's where I just disconnected it from. There's nothing in here. This is super dry. Set it down in the grass, nice and gentle. Give it a little shake. All I hear is some loose stuff, so we definitely got to clean that out a little bit. Next thing I'm about to do, we got some 10W40 for the transmission, and then we got some 2-stroke for our oil, which is injected, so separate oil tank. I should check the pump at some point. I gotta make sure that it's actually doing the right thing and getting oil into there, but you can see the line. I mean, there's oil there right now. There's plenty in here, but we're gonna drain it out anyway, refill it, and knock out both of these, see what they're looking like. All right, here we go. Let's see what it's looking like up under here. Oh yeah. Not the greatest color, but also definitely not the worst color. Does have that little bit of streak in it. Looks way worse on camera than it does in person. But yeah, getting rid of all this stuff. I'm gonna rinse it out with some fresh here and then fill it back up. Let this drain for a little while though. All right, so transmission's drained. I'm kind of realizing don't really need to drain this because I know that it was put in semi-recently, and it's not like there's an easy way to drain it because it's being injected via here and then it just burns off in the gas. So it's like probably don't need to actually do anything with this one, and just trust that he wasn't lying about when he put it in. But it should be perfectly clean oil because this doesn't mix until it goes into the engine, so should be set there. So I was having trouble finding any info about amount that goes in, and then sure enough it's right there, and cc's to milliliters, same thing. So I bought way too much of this stuff. That's fine, I've got 2 bottles. This has 946 minus 550, comes out to about 400. So I'll pour down to the 400 mark on here to fill this back up, and we should be right at that 550 and ready to roll. But before I do that, I am just gonna pour some in with everything open just to flush out a little bit of extras. All right, oil change is complete. Tried to clean up some of this underside here. It is downright filthy, but I tried to clean it up as much as I could. Our 2-stroke tank right here is solid. We got plenty of oil in that, and it looks pretty good in there. So we're not gonna mess with that right now. We're gonna see how that stuff runs when we fire it up. It's probably gonna be smoky as all crap. Yeah, now I've got a socket on the spark plug, and we're gonna try pull the spark plug off, kick it, and see if we have spark there. Here's a look at the spark plug. Also, just so you guys know, I'm a YouTube mechanic. I know nothing about anything that I'm doing right now, so just take what I'm saying at face value and do your own research. I somehow had this socket lying around, which was, I think, designed for taking these out, but I've never done this before, so I don't know why I had it. Pretty cool though. From what I know, this looks decent. We'll put it back on and then kick it over, see if we can see spark. But we got to make sure that this is grounded somewhere, so leaning it up against the engine or some sort of metal that'll ground it, otherwise it won't spark at all. So that's that's what we're doing next. Let's see what happens. All right, no spark. Need a new spark plug. So it could just be a bad spark plug. Obviously the box is super crappy, so that's gonna need replaced either way. But I feel like we could get away with at least trying a new spark plug first before buying a whole nother box. So I think now I'm gonna go run to the store, get a spark plug, get a small tank of gas, and then we'll do some experimenting, trying to kick it over, seeing what happens. Well guys, I'm really gonna embarrass myself here. An important part to checking for spark is making sure that the bike can actually start, and it needs the keys to actually start. I never even plugged the keys in. So I'm gonna try the old spark plug. I went out and bought 2 new ones anyway, because I've got that 72 that takes the same plug. We're gonna put the old one in, see if that works, and then replace it with the new one anyway, just because I bought them, so might as well use them. All right, let's try this again. This time by actually putting the key in the bike and putting it in run mode. That would be super helpful. Let's see what happens now. Oh yeah, there's like so much spark. There's spark. Okay, well, that was stupid. But overall, a good practice, and now I have gas. I'm gonna pop the tank back on and we're gonna see if we can't get it running. Alrighty, I didn't even know what kind of octane level I need to use for this. So I got 92. I don't know if that's overkill, underkill, if it's just completely wrong. Really pretty unsure, so hopefully it doesn't destroy it. So many safety features on freaking gas cans. But watch me spill all this. Why is it not pouring? Oh god, there's more safety features. How does this work? I don't know how to work a freaking gas can anymore. One sec, let me figure this out. Well, to the surprise of no one probably, who at least knows motorcycles, petcock was bad, leaking everywhere, and pretty sure there should be 2 of these, so one of them is probably rolling around in the tank, and that's what I was hearing. So right now I gotta figure out how to get the rest of the gas out of here. I'll just dump it out of this hole, hopefully into the tank. But that does stall today's progress for working on the bike. These were the 2 culprits that were rattling around in the gas can that came off of this guy. So these 2 were sitting back here, working as filters. Man, I had to shake that freaking tank so hard for like 4 minutes straight to shake both of these out. That was exhausting, but this is all trash now, so chucking that along with all this crap. And for those interested, this was the seat pan off of the blue, the 72. That is not worth saving. So what I just went ahead and did, stripped all the brackets, bolts, any pieces that I might need. I've got a new seat pan coming in that actually has a saddle already attached, so gonna repurpose that one. But yeah, this is going straight to the garbage. So that's gonna be part 1, day 1 of working on this 1971 TS185. We've got spark, we got oil change. We're just gonna be waiting on a few parts to get delivered to test her and hopefully get her running. Good progress.